Welcome to the Christopher Jimenez Show. This will be episode 13 of the podcast, and that is a very appropriate number because today I completed my very first 13-mile run. This is a 13-mile training run for the half marathon, the Princess Half, that's going to happen on February, I think it's 22nd or something like that, at Disney. That is significant for those of you who do not know anything about running, because that is a half marathon distance. So I've already completed the half marathon distance. I actually did run the entire 13.1 in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that comes out to a 12:20 pace. So I'm really happy. I really feel great. I was smiling throughout the middle of it. It was great. I mean, I had a great time, and I'm glad to have leapt over the hurdle, and I know now that I can definitely finish the 13-miler in decent time, and perhaps even end up going faster. As you know from my last podcast, I participated in Marathon Weekend last weekend with my family. We actually did only the 5K. We didn't do the half or the full marathon. But one thing that really struck me and that I thought was really cool was the whole Walt Disney World Resort seemed like a parade of recovery socks and K-tape. There was just recovery sock. Everybody was wearing either a recovery sock or had like massive strips of K-tape going all up and down their legs. It was actually kind of funny, but it was cool to see and see people walking around with their medals and all that. So that was pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. Speaking of all this, this whole resort, I'm going to give a little bit of a travel review during the rest of this podcast on what I like to call resort hopping. Now, resort hopping basically for the Walt Disney World Resort is basically we take advantage of the busing system. We can get to any part of the parks from anywhere by taking at least at most two bus trips. One trip towards a major hub like a park or downtown Disney, and then from there you can get a bus to any of the resorts and see what they have to offer. A couple of the resorts that we decided to hang out at were the Contemporary Resort and the Polynesian Resort. Both are on the monorail loop. At the Contemporary Resort, we decided to treat ourselves to a nice dinner at the Wave of American Flavors. The Wave of American Flavors is, as you can tell from the name, is basically American cuisine. I ordered a steak tenderloin. My wife ordered the chicken, and it was superb, delicious food. All organic food. The drinks were organic. Everything was great. The tab was a bit pricey, so make sure that if you plan on going to the Wave of American Flavors, know that you're going to be spending some money, which is a great treat if you're celebrating an accomplishment or something like that. Another favorite of ours is in the Polynesian Resort. When you go in there, you can hang out at Captain Cook's, and at Captain Cook's is one of our favorite treats ever in the entire world, Dole Whips. Dole Whips are pineapple soft serve ice cream, and it's just to die for. I mean, you go up, you ask for a cup, and you can fill that cup up with as much Dole Whip as you can ingest. It's just glorious. You get that? It just makes you feel so happy. It just makes you feel so good. You get that. You walk outside. You sit down at the pool, which has a great view. It almost looks like a beach going out into that lake out there, and you watch the river boats go by. You can watch the sunset. You can watch the fireworks go off. It's just amazing. Which, by the way, speaking of fireworks, there is a special place that we located where you can watch the fireworks from from the Contemporary Resort. It's right underneath the monorail. It's actually pretty cool. At the time that we went, they weren't shooting off fireworks due to the marathon. They had to close a bit early and get the marathon set up, so we weren't able to do that. But to watch that, but it was quite a great view, and we plan on using it sometime in the future. The next thing I'd like to review is the Art of Animation Resort. Art of Animation Resort seems to be a very popular place for all the runners that went up for the marathon weekend. We stayed in the Finding Nemo wing of the suites. There are several suites that you can, or wings that you could choose from. One that's themed after the Little Mermaid, themed after the Lion King, themed after Cars, themed after Finding Nemo, and that's the Finding Nemo is the one that we decided to settle on. I'm going to start with the negatives of that particular hotel, and then we're going to move on to the positives. As you can, just so you know, the Art of Animation is a value resort. It's a moderate to value resort, so it attracts a lot of families, and it really is geared towards families. I mean, the art, the themes, basically, it's all about, bring your kids, let's have some fun at the resort as well as in the parks. But as a result, some of the furniture and the carpets were kind of already almost dingy, and it wasn't like terrible, but you could tell that it's been lived in, and the resort has only been open since, I want to say, October of last year, maybe a little later. So that was kind of a little bit disappointing. I believe it wasn't what we expected. In addition, the mattresses were not all that comfortable. Now, obviously, one of the things that you want in a resort is a comfortable mattress, a comfortable bed to sleep in, so you could rest and have fun the next day. So the mattresses were a little hard. Granted, they were pretty ingenious in how they put so many mattresses in. They used, obviously you have your standard pull-out couch, you have normal mattresses, but you also have a table that folds into a bed, I should say. But but it's not the most comfortable thing to sleep on, just so you know. Next, I have a kind of plus and minus category, the pools. There's an awesome pool in the Finding Nemo resort. It's obviously Finding Nemo. It's going to have a great pool, and it is awesome with Crush there, and it's just super cool. You have pools in almost every single wing. You have one in the Little Mermaid. You even have one in Cars. The only one that doesn't have a pool is Lion King. Lion King substitutes a pool for the Elephant Graveyard, which is an awesome, super cool playground. Obviously super cool if you like Lion King, that is. In addition, they show movies every night at Pride Rock. However, going back to the pools, the only downside is they didn't provide towels. So you kind of had to use your bath towel to go to the pool, and that's not cool. It's kind of gross. So that's kind of a big letdown. But one of the biggest pluses of this value resort was that the shower was not, value crappy shower. It was a really, really nice shower with a really, really super nice shower head. It was so luxurious. It was, it was just great to stand there and just let that water fall on you and wash you clean. So that was a huge plus. A few things to keep in mind if you are planning to go to the Art of Animation Resort. Note that the TV console is the coolest TV console you will find in a resort. Basically, you can plug any device that you own into the TV through there. It's got USB, it's got 40-pin connector, it's got the HDMI in. So if I would have thought of it and remembered that they had that, I would have brought my HDMI cable and my laptop, and we could have streamed Netflix from the free Wi-Fi, and we would have been able to watch whatever we wanted to watch. In addition, if you're going and you go into the parks, you take a whole bunch of pictures, you come to the resort, you can plug your camera right in and look at all your pictures or your videos straight, right then and there. So I thought that was really, really cool. A few things to keep in mind when booking. Note that the Little Mermaid Resort or wing is different from all the others. All of the other wings have kind of like a more private entry. You kind of enter the building and everything's inside. The front door is indoors. The Little Mermaid wing is different than all the others. It's actually more like the Pop Century, where it's outdoors. Outdoor entry, meaning the door. Basically, you open the door and you're looking out into the parking lot. It's less private. We actually had some literature from outside of Disney. Some people kind of stuffed their literature into the crack of the door. I mean, it's not a big deal unless you feel that is a big deal for you. But just something to keep in mind when you're booking. Another thing is the Cars Resort is closest to the parking area. I guess you could say Little Mermaid is close to parking as well, as it's out far out in the edges. Lion King is closest to the buses, and Finding Nemo is actually right smack dab in the middle. As soon as you check in, you walk out, and there's a big pool, and Finding Nemo is right there. So I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope this my update for my marathon training and thoughts on the marathon weekend were beneficial. And remember that if you can always connect with me on Twitter at CJMNZ8. Again, that's at CJMNZ8. I look forward to hearing from everybody. Thank you for listening.